Hello everyone, and welcome to your second royal reading of today. And I am using the Urban Tarot for this reading. And there it is. And I'm using the Urban Tarot because we're doing something quite modern. A modern foundation, an allegedly charitable foundation, Archewell, which I gather was established in Delaware. So has somewhat different regulatory rules than a normal foundation or company, just saying. But anyway, today Archewell released an impact report, not a financial report, but an impact report. And in it announced that it raised 13 million and donated 3 million. So even if your maths is as bad as mine, that leaves 10 million sloshing around, unaccounted for, seemingly. And let's remind you as I shuffle the cards, that and the success card comes, no, science card, sorry, no, misreading that. Let's remind you, this is a tarot reading for entertainment purposes or just my opinion or just speculation. I read on the royals because they're an archetypal family and we can learn from archetypes. And there is a disclaimer in the box below. Please read it and please form your own opinions on Archewell. And I want to know what's going on with Archewell because, of course, in the news also in the last few days, the news that there's been yet another reshuffling of staff at Archewell, the revolving door policy seemingly at Archewell, that people really don't stick around. Inquiring minds want to know why, what it's like working for Archewell and why people leave. At least 16 people have left the foundation since it was started up, or have left the Harkles since they started really doing charitable work, and you can put that in inverted commas, perhaps, because they don't really have much to show for it, even though they released this impact report and seem to be massaging the figures quite a lot and piggybacking onto the good deeds of other charitable organizations. They're being called out, basically. So we want to know how well Archewell is really doing. Is there anything a bit dodgy going on that we might find out about? Then Myra, who is on Twitter. Myra, I'm doing a 7-card reading, by the way. Myra is trying to manifest a fundraising gala for Archewell. So we're going to have a look at that and see if Myra's magical thinking is in fact going to manifest a fundraising gala for Archewell. Are they so short of cash that they need a fundraising gala? Where is that 10 million? And then we'll do an outcome card. Next 5 years. How will Archewell be in the next 5 years? Will it still be in existence? Will it be, a colossus? And we have the Fool as our underlying energy of this reading. And the Fool, of course, is somebody who is starting over optimistically, making that leap of faith, tail wagging little dog, and all very enthusiastic, starting a new chapter. Archewell with the Fool card as the underlying energy. Could be a bit of a foolhardy adventure that Archewell is on, but it does look as if they're trying to reset things with this huge shake-up in their staff, and with releasing this impact report. It was said by Myra that for those of you who say that Harry and Meghan or the Harkles don't do anything, look at the impact report, how busy they have been. She is trying to remind people as well of her SmartWorks collaboration. So I'm clutching at straws a bit here, but the Harkles trying to reset, trying to restart, trying to spin, in my opinion, as a tarot reader. So signifier for Archewell, please. Center of this reading, what is going on? How funny that card came out that I was looking at when we were shuffling before. It's called Science. I don't really get it. It's the Six of Swords. The Six of Swords is moving on from difficulty. So I suppose science can do that. Research and all of that can move you on from difficulty. It's a bit of a different tarot deck, this Urban Tarot. I navigate it as best I can. Sometimes, yes, I use the very specific interpretation. Sometimes I just go with the regular Rider-Waite ones. And this one, well, yeah, have been involved with science to a certain extent, of course, with the jab that they were distributing. But Six of Swords is somebody who's trying to get out of a sticky situation, trying to put a tricky past behind them and sail on to smoother waters, calmer waters. Archewell has been in some trouble, according to these cards, in my opinion, as a tarot reader. And the Harkles are trying to sail it into calmer waters, less stormy seas, which is why we have this reset card as the underlying energy. Things have not been going well, despite all the fanfare and the impact report has not been going well at all. How is it working for the Harkles at Archewell? What's it like? Fly on the wall. What is it like? Ooh, Strength card in reverse. Not so much fun. That is the Harry and Meghan card. The Strength card, the Virgo and the Leo. In the reverse, it's dare I say the B word, bullying. Bullying, that's my opinion. I am speculating that they might be on the receiving end of some use of power, because the Strength card is about your personal power, but misuse of personal power, which could be a definition of bullying. And we know that the Harkles have somewhat flexible, elastic interpretations of the term bullying, particularly their lawyer, whatever that woman's name is. But yeah, Strength in reverse is kind of abusing your power, your personal power. It's also my codependent card. When I do these royal readings, and someone who's not strong enough to stand on their own 2 feet. And I get that with the Harkles. They've got their 2 little chairs side by side at that big table that they pretend is a desk. And I don't know about you, but I certainly can't share an office with my partner. We do work together, we collaborate on projects together, absolutely, but day by day, no, not going to happen. I really, I don't think that the Harkles are able to function coherently as individuals in their business environment. And that's just what I'm getting off that card. That's my interpretation of that card, my interpretation of the energy, my reading of it. So it doesn't bode well. Why do they leave? Next card. Why do they leave? They leave because of the 2 of Wands, which is called Dominion in this rather interesting tarot deck. 2 of Wands in reverse is a breakup of a partnership, but it's plans falling apart. Really, that's the traditional Rider-Waite interpretation of the 2 of Wands. It's plans, it's usually business plans, a joint venture, that kind of thing. Making those kinds of schemes and, going to the bank with your business plan and saying, give me money, please. That kind of thing. But in reverse, no. It tells me that there's chaos. Basically, that the plans aren't well thought out, which is why we've got the Fool lurking here in the background as our underlying energy. Plans aren't thought through. They don't probably stick to their plans. Somebody comes in, new hire, with high hopes, and this is how we're going to do things and structure things, or this is how we're going to run the podcast and blah, blah, and then it all falls apart because the Harkles don't stick to it. And that is also a Strength card in reverse, just by the way, because Strength is about self-mastery when it's upright. It's about being a master of your animal instincts, your laziness, your fear, all of those things. When you've got the Strength card upright, you've got grit and resilience and determination, and you stick with things because you're strong. Harkles aren't, according to this tarot reading, and this is of course speculation on my part, but partnerships falling apart. But Dominion is an interesting card because it's about power, and it's similar to the Strength card in reverse. Dominion, it's telling me twice basically. I've just been glancing at the little book, but nothing's catching my eye about Dominion that I feel I need to share with you. It's telling me twice in this reading that there are power plays in this dynamic that make people very uncomfortable, that they don't feel that they can act in their own authority or in their own power. And of course, one of the signifiers of a good boss is allowing people to flourish and go on their own journeys and express their own talents and all of that. And it tells me that the Harkles are not those kinds of bosses. They don't want people to thrive and flourish. They possibly are intimidated and threatened by people who are more knowledgeable, more experienced than they are, and might actively undermine them. And that is my opinion again, and pure speculation. And let's remind you that this is all just an energy reading. So finances. How is Archewell actually doing financially right now? How's it doing? Ooh, a windfall has come in with the sun, which is why they have released this impact report now. They've had a big payday with the sun. Ka-ching! And I can imagine that all kinds of money is rolling in right now because of the book and because of the docuseries and things like that. So flush with cash right now. The sun, very happy. In the public eye right now, Archewell, definitely basking in the success, as they would see it, of the docuseries and the book. Tons of money rolling in right now. Tons of it, probably nauseating amounts that would make you collapse if you knew. Is anything dodgy going on? Is there anything that we're going to find out or they're going to be caught out on? Have to ask. Because there is that missing 10 million that hasn't been accounted for. And there is, of course, they don't have to donate all the money. They are allowed. I think they've donated a generous 23% of the funds that they have allegedly brought in. They don't seem obligated to release financial reports. But is there anything iffy there? That because they have made some claims which don't stack up in the report that people are exposing, citizen journalists mostly, although the Daily Mail also is on the case seemingly. So I'm allowed to inquire, I think, about whether figures are being fudged. Let's just say, we've got the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. Prudence, it's called. Prudence. In reverse, not so prudent. Yeah, there's stuff going on there. More than dodgy stuff. Let's clarify that for you. It tells me that they possibly are spending faster than it's coming in, because the prudence card, the Eight of Pentacles, is a card of hard work. Not really prudence, I wouldn't call it that. It's a card of somebody diligently showing up every day and doing what they need to do and making money, and making good money. It's an 8, it's almost 10, which is the maximum money you can make in tarot, apart from the Ace of Pentacles. But it is when it's upright, it's a very healthy card. It's people who are disciplined and diligent and work very hard, master their craft, very focused on making money, on being successful. But this card is in the reverse, tells me they might be squandering the money. They are getting it in truckloads of it are rolling up at their door at the moment. But the problem with the Harkles, the fuzzy stuff that I'm asking about, is that they may not be working very hard to get it. This is more of a sort of a windfall with that sun energy for me, and in an ongoing way they might, as I say, spend faster than they earn. Okay, so that's what's going on there. How about this fundraising gala that Myra is trying to manifest? Are we going to see an Archewell Foundation fundraising gala where all the billionaires and all the people that they've connected with so far in the United States, are they all going to show up with their checkbooks? Do people still have checkbooks? How's the fundraising gala going to go? Is it going to happen? Nope. That's the Two of Swords in reverse. I wouldn't call it the Peace card at all, but the Two of Swords is about decisions. Upright, haven't made a decision yet, don't want to make a decision, at a crossroads, difficult decision, can't see the way forward. That's the Two of Swords. In the reverse, decision is made. And it's always a difficult decision that you didn't want to make. And I think it's going to be a no. I think no fundraising gala for Myra, much as she's got it on her vision board. And no, I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't think that she's going to be able to persuade people to attend, or Meghan Markle is going to be able to persuade people to attend. I think she's going to get some no's from very influential people, and that in the end, sadly for Myra, Meghan Markle is going to have to give up on that idea. That's my interpretation of the cards as an energy reader, as a tarot reader. And outcome for Archewell, next 5 years. I've put a time span on this, a time limit. How's Archewell going to be doing in the next 5 years? Is it still going to be around? Is it going to be a colossus? Is it going to be a dead loss? What is going to be happening to Archewell? Well, it's going to be flourishing. It's going to be flourishing. That's quite an interesting card. It's called Abundance. Again, not something that I would call it, the Three of Cups. They're going to have reason to celebrate in the years ahead, and they've of course still got projects that are going on. This is the book 2, the docuseries 2, things going on. They're still going to be involved. Awards, it tells me the Three of Cups is a kind of an awards card, that possibly they're going to be involved in doing things like that. So you're going to see it. It's not a giant pentacle card, even though it's called Abundance. I wouldn't. It's a party and friends card. The Three of Cups for me, having a good time, awards. We're going to see it around and things like that, Archewell. It's not going to go down the drain. It's not going to be cancelled. It's still going to be trundling along. But the profile that you're going to see of it, from my understanding, my interpretation of this card is glitzy kind of things. Might not be much substance to them. And I say that because of that card, the Eight of Pentacles in reverse, and also the fact that Archewell has been in some trouble with the Six of Swords, and trying to get out of that trouble, which is why we have that full energy in the reverse there. It's not a happy place to work at, definitely not according to this reading and in my opinion. With the Strength card in reverse and the Two of Wands card in reverse, chaotic, definitely power plays. You could speculate that there is bullying that goes on in that work environment from these cards. There is a ton of money rolling in at the moment. It's not surprising. This was the time of their big payday. So it's understandable, but they do look like they're spending it faster than it's coming in. They will still be around in 5 years' time. Well, Archewell will still be around in 5 years' time. Just going to ask a quick question about the 5 years' time. Who is it going to be mostly associated with? Is it going to be associated mostly with Harry, or is it going to be associated mostly with Meghan, or both? Who? And just by the way, that Strength card tells me that they are both difficult to work for, because they're both on that card. So who's going to be steering Archewell? Who's Archewell going to be really representing? The Moon. Wow, that's such a chilling card, really. In this quite happy little tarot deck, the Moon is ghoulish and ghostly. The Moon, a very female card. It depicts a woman as a kind of one of the meanings of the Moon that I don't really get into in these royal tarot readings, because it's not really appropriate most of the time. But just saying, is madness, stuff that you're trying to repress, and howling at the moon. It's her, and she's going to be the one clinging to it, and it's really her alone. keeping it going. Still, because I'm mesmerized by this card. Still, because it's a Diana card for me, the moon. Still trying to replicate that whole Diana thing with the humanitarian stuff, wearing the clothes, doing the same things. If only, you know, the same issues were still, well, thank goodness they are, for the sake of the world. We have mostly moved on from the issues that Diana was most invested in. We've got our own troubles, of course, on the planet, but so much in that card. I could speak for an hour on it, but I won't. You can all have a good look at it and think what you think about it. Not a healthy card, let me put it that way, in my opinion. I don't feel that that is a healthy energy. It's kind of an obsessive energy, that moon card. And yeah, we're still going to be hearing about Archewell in 5 years' time, if I am still here and you are still there and YouTube is still with us and the world is still spinning. We will be probably hearing about fundraising galas for Archewell, and Myra, no doubt, will be trying to manifest them. That is your reading. I'm going to totter away, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon.